Hey guys, Island Homesteader here. Well, mostly good news with a little bit of bad news. That smallest hive that was right there, I did lose that one. That's the hive that completely flooded in both storms. The water line on the hive was about an inch from the top of the top box. They had just enough room to get out of their top entrance. I did see them flying around in there and clustered up around their top entrance a couple of days after the storm, but I guess their hive was just too wrecked and they couldn't do anything about it. So not sure what happened to them. They just disappeared, abandoned the box. I'm hoping maybe they just joined up with one of these other hives here. I'm not sure, but the good news is all three of the remaining hives have laying queens. The middle one, that one right there, I saw the queen in that one. She is one of the ones they raised themselves this summer. That one over there actually has a couple of frames of brood, and then this one has some brood in it. I didn't see the queen in either one of those two, but there are eggs and brood in this. They've done a really good job of cleaning out the boxes. Both of those two, I swapped the boxes around. The top two, or the two boxes on each one of those two hives, the top boxes on each one of those two hives had all the honey in it and the brood and most of the bees that were hanging on the frames. The bottom box on each one of them before I moved them was the box that was completely underwater. They had done a remarkable job of cleaning the frames. Every one of the frames in there was clean, dry, no mold, no nothing. They were just really clean. So I pulled both the boxes off, dumped the bottom boards out. They were just completely full of trash, completely closing up the screens on the bottom board. So I just dumped the bottom boards and then I flipped the boxes. I put the boxes back on the bottom that had all the honey and brood and stuff, and put the clean frames, empty clean frames up on the top. So maybe they would go ahead and start. They're bringing in, there's a lot of uncapped nectar in there, unripe nectar, so they're bringing in stuff. And today is what, the 3rd of November, so they're still bringing stuff in pretty good. Both of those, the queen had laid everything she could. She'd run out of room, so I put the empties on top. Hopefully if she needs to, she can go up top and lay. This one here was pretty much the same way. It was more the middle box here had most of the stuff, so I went ahead and moved it to the bottom, put the bottom box in the middle, and then kept the top box up on the top. It's just honey up there, and they've, I haven't been in here in over 3 months because of my neck, and they've cross-combed bad up in the top. I use foundationless, so they just kind of do what they want. I'm just going to just use that as a super, and hopefully they'll eat it out this spring or over the winter, and this spring maybe I'll just go in there and just scrape all the wax out and they'll just have to rebuild it. But all three hives have laying queens. They have a good bee population. They have good honey stores. I was worried about having to go get some sugar and start feeding, but they've got good honey stores, all three of them, and they're bringing nectar in. They've got plenty of unripe nectar in there that they're bringing in right now, and pollen, so they're in good shape. So minus the one weak one that I lost, all three of these are doing great. If you saw my storm video, you know that well, the 3-box hive there, the water line was about halfway up the center box. So those two over there, the water line would have been halfway up the top box. So they had all but maybe 4 inches that flooded. But they've cleaned up great. I did just what some beekeepers in Louisiana that I talked to on Facebook told me to do. They just told me to vent the tops, put some sticks under them and vent them, and then just to leave them alone, and that they would clean up. And that's what I did. I left them that way right through the storm. After the first storm, I left them with sticks under them. The tops opened, and they've done a great job. Just as clean as can be in there. So really happy with the progress of the bees. Sorry I didn't film any footage when I was in the hives, but man, it was just, they were a little chaotic in there. They haven't been messed with in over 3 months, so they weren't quite back in the in the flow of being messed with, so they were a little cranky. Plus it was just way too much work. I had to completely take the boxes off, dump the top or the bottom boards off, and It was just too much, so I couldn't get any of it recorded, sorry, but just wanted to let you know that the hives are doing great. So now just a matter of getting them through winter. They're still bringing in stores. So like I said, here it is the 3rd of November, Eastern North Carolina, and they're bringing in stores still. So happy as I can be with that. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Any questions or comments, leave them below. Again, just thank you for watching. Thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to see more. All right, thanks for watching, guys. God bless.